Under the blinding glare of New York's restless nightlife, a single question now ripples through global fan circles with an intensity that no one saw coming. Why was Jimin, one of BTS's most recognizable figures, caught on camera sharing a private dinner with Jimmy Fallon? And why did Fallon abruptly ask, mid-conversation, where Jungkook was? The footage that sparked the frenzy is as brief as it is explosive. A grainy, 2-minute clip uploaded anonymously to X, formerly Twitter, late last night. In it, Jimin can be seen slipping quietly into a dimly lit Manhattan restaurant just before 10 p.m., his hood pulled low, his pace brisk but unhurried. Minutes later, Fallon enters in similar low-profile attire, a baseball cap, casual hoodie, and dark jeans, blending into the crowd almost too perfectly. No red carpet, no paparazzi trail, no advance hint from either man's schedule. The rendezvous was, in every observable way, designed to go unnoticed. Yet it didn't. The seating arrangement was telling. The pair at a corner table, angled away from the main dining floor, voices low but animated. Witnesses described Fallon leaning in frequently, gesturing with both hands, his expressions alternating between serious and sharply amused. Jimin, usually cautious in public settings, appeared relaxed, even laughing at intervals, until one moment that shifted the entire tone of the night. According to an individual seated 2 tables away, Fallon suddenly paused mid-sentence, smiled knowingly, and asked, "So, where's Jungkook?" The witness reports that Jimin's reaction was instantaneous, a slight widening of the eyes, a brief tightening of his jaw, and then a return to composure. He answered, but too softly for the surrounding tables to hear. That single exchange, however, was enough to ignite the most fevered round of fan theories in months. Was Jungkook expected to join them? Had he been part of the original plan? Or was Fallon deliberately probing something bigger, perhaps a yet unannounced project involving the BTS member whose global solo career is currently peaking? The intrigue deepens when considering the absolute vacuum of information about Jimin's arrival in New York. Not a single airport sighting, no casual fan photos, no leaks from airline staff, a rarity for someone of his fame. The first and only public trace is the dinner itself. Industry insiders, speaking off record, note that such stealth travel usually precedes confidential recording sessions, high-stakes negotiations, or the filming of material under strict embargo. And in this case, all signs suggest the meeting with Fallon was far from casual. Adding fuel to the fire, multiple sources in Manhattan's entertainment sector confirmed that filming permits were quietly approved earlier this week for projects involving international musical talent in prime Midtown and Brooklyn locations. The documents list no names, but timing and location align suspiciously well with both Fallon's Tonight Show operations and studios historically used for high-profile music reveals. BY Dawn, the clip had spread beyond X, saturating TikTok, Instagram Reels, and fan forums across multiple languages. On TikTok alone, hashtag Jimin Fallon Dinner surged to over 20 million views in under 6 hours. One particularly viral fan edit slows the exact moment Fallon's lips form the word Jungkook, overlaying it with dramatic sound effects and speculative captions. The result is part entertainment, part forensic analysis, and entirely effective in keeping the story alive. Another detail captured by a separate diner's blurry phone photo has only intensified the speculation. A third figure seated at their table, partially obscured, wearing a sharp black suit and thin-rimmed glasses. Early theories range from a major record label executive to a Netflix content strategist. The fact that neither Jimin nor Fallon acknowledged this person publicly, and that every leaked image seems to obscure their identity, has only heightened the sense of secrecy. Later in the evening, staff from the restaurant revealed to an entertainment blogger that the trio stayed for nearly 2 hours, sharing pasta dishes and splitting a single dessert. They departed separately through a side entrance, each stepping into waiting SUVs. Curiously, Jimin's vehicle was seen heading toward Brooklyn, where, hours later, several fans claimed to spot him entering a well-known recording studio. This studio, notably, has hosted artists whose projects were later premiered on The Tonight Show, strengthening the link between the dinner and a possible televised reveal. The situation took a sharper turn when Fallon himself posted an Instagram story at 2:14 a.m., a blurred nighttime skyline of New York, captioned only with the word soon.
No tags. No hashtags.
Just soon. Within minutes, the comment section was overrun with fans tagging Jimin, Jungkook, and BTS, demanding explanations. Meanwhile, a sharp-eyed fan on X cross-referenced recent BTS media activity and found something peculiar. The group's official channels have been unusually quiet for weeks. In the K-pop world, such silence often signals preparation for a major announcement. When combined with Fallon's on-camera history of teasing big BTS moments and Jimin's sudden, unexplained trip, it paints a picture that is less about coincidence and more about deliberate orchestration. Fueling that theory is a resurfaced clip from a 2022 Tonight Show episode in which Fallon told Jimin on air, "Next time, I want all of you here, or maybe just you, with something brand new." At the time, it seemed like casual banter. Today, it reads like foreshadowing. Even more telling is the timing of Fallon's question about Jungkook. Industry veterans know that seemingly casual name drops in such contexts are often strategic, a way of hinting at what's coming without explicitly stating it. If Jungkook's name surfaced in the middle of an otherwise private and undisclosed meeting, the implication may be that he is directly connected to whatever plan is in motion. As speculation reached its peak, another twist emerged. Paparazzi station near the Brooklyn studio captured images of Jimin leaving hours later, flanked by two men widely believed to be key players in the U.S. music industry, one a Grammy-winning producer, the other a live event creative director. Both have professional histories intersecting with The Tonight Show and major televised music specials. Their presence all but cements the theory that the dinner with Fallon was step one in a carefully staged build-up. Notably, neither Jimin nor Fallon has made any public acknowledgement of the dinner. Big Hit Music and NBC remain silent. In high-profile entertainment, such silence is rarely accidental. It allows speculation to flourish unchecked, keeping public interest at a boil until the reveal can be made on their terms. By late afternoon, the story had reached global headlines, with outlets from Seoul to Los Angeles running variations of the same central question. What exactly were Jimin and Fallon discussing? And why did Fallon make a point of asking where Jungkook was? Theories now range from a dual performance special to a surprise US media campaign involving multiple BTS members, to an entirely new collaborative project that bridges music and television. If there is one constant in BTS's history, it is their ability to turn moments of uncertainty into seismic cultural events. And with Manhattan as the stage, Fallon as the host, Jimin as the unexpected guest, and Jungkook's name suddenly thrust into the narrative, this could be the first scene of an entertainment reveal powerful enough to dominate not just music headlines, but mainstream global news. The city may keep its secrets for now, but the clock is ticking. And somewhere between that discreet corner table in Manhattan and the shadowed entrance of a Brooklyn studio, the answer to Fallon's question about Jungkook is waiting, ready to detonate in front of the world. In the hours following the viral spread of the dinner footage, online communities began dissecting every visible detail with near-forensic precision. Some claimed to detect a slim black folder being passed from Fallon to Jimin just before they stood to leave. Others swore they could lip-read a portion of their conversation, interpreting phrases like final rehearsal and full set list from the brief exchange caught on camera. While unverifiable, such interpretations have amplified the belief that an imminent public unveiling is in motion. Further complicating matters, flight tracking enthusiasts noted that a private jet linked to a well-known Korean entertainment logistics company landed at Teterboro Airport less than 24 hours before the dinner. No passenger manifest has been made public, but the aircraft's previous routes align with BTS-related travel patterns, fueling suspicion that other members, or essential production staff, may already be in New York. Across social media, the mood has shifted from curiosity to palpable tension. Fans, industry watchers, and rival media outlets are now engaged in a high-stakes guessing game, each attempting to predict the scale of what's coming. The deliberate lack of confirmation from all parties has turned the absence of information into a spectacle of its own. Every silence, every untagged post, every vague remark from associated figures is being cataloged and interpreted. One truth is unavoidable. The combination of Jimin, Jimmy Fallon, and the sudden invocation of Jungkook's name is not a trivial coincidence. In the entertainment world, such alignments are rare, and rarely without consequence. Whatever is being prepared behind closed doors appears to be approaching a critical moment, one that may soon break the careful containment of secrecy and erupt onto the global stage. The unfolding narrative surrounding Jimin's discreet dinner with Jimmy Fallon, and the now infamous moment when Fallon reportedly asked, "Where's Jungkook?" has become a phenomenon that transcends entertainment gossip. It is no longer merely a discussion about a celebrity encounter. It has evolved into a case study in modern information consumption, viral dissemination, and the psychology of public speculation. But before allowing ourselves to be swept into the undertow of collective excitement, an essential question must be confronted. Do we truly believe this event transpired as described? Or are we engaging with a carefully engineered spectacle designed to monopolize attention and manipulate perception? Every frame of the grainy footage circulating online has been parsed, slowed, magnified, and theorized upon. Yet, how many among us have stopped to consider the source of this material, its chain of custody, and its authenticity? Can a 2-minute, poorly lit clip, posted anonymously on platforms known for their rapid virality and minimal verification, serve as definitive proof of a high-profile, unannounced meeting? Or are we, perhaps willingly, participating in an elaborate performance where our role as the audience is to amplify the intrigue without demanding conclusive evidence? The very architecture of modern social media encourages the swift acceptance of visually compelling narratives. TikTok algorithms reward rapid engagement, Twitter thrives on real-time speculation, and YouTube benefits from reaction content that often precedes thorough investigation. Given that the initial sources of this evidence are embedded within these systems, can we place our trust in their accuracy without rigorous cross-verification? Or is the rush to believe symptomatic of a deeper cultural condition, our preference for stories that excite over truths that may disappoint? Consider the striking silence from both Jimin and Fallon. Is it reasonable to interpret this as validation of the rumors, as many fans insist? Or could it equally serve as evidence that the situation has been exaggerated, misrepresented, or even fabricated? Silence, after all, is an ambiguous communicator. It can conceal truth just as easily as it can mask irrelevance. In this context, is the absence of comment a strategic marketing tactic, a legal necessity, or simply an indicator that no substantive story exists? We must also interrogate the timing of events. The untraceable arrival of Jimin in New York, the sudden appearance of a high-profile talk show host in the same venue, and the alleged involvement of a third, unidentified figure, all occurring in the same narrow window, seem improbably convenient. Could this sequence be a product of genuine coincidence, or does it reflect deliberate orchestration meant to provoke precisely the kind of speculation we now witness? If orchestrated, to what end? Is the objective to prepare audiences for a coordinated entertainment release, or to test the responsiveness and spread of online discourse as part of a larger marketing experiment? The human element cannot be ignored. Fans have emotional investments in the members of BTS, and this attachment can make them susceptible to confirmation bias, favoring information that aligns with their hopes or expectations while dismissing conflicting evidence. When Fallon's question about Jungkook entered the narrative, it became the perfect accelerant for speculation, a casual inquiry that could be read as an inside joke, a coded hint, or a direct signal of forthcoming collaboration. Yet, how many have considered the possibility that the moment was misunderstood, misheard, or taken out of its original conversational context, Equally important is the role of third-party interpretation. The so-called eyewitnesses, the alleged restaurant staff, the unnamed insiders from the entertainment sector, these are layers of narrative mediation that filter and shape the story long before it reaches the public. At each stage, details can be amplified, altered, or omitted. Should we not then ask ourselves, to what degree has the account we are consuming been curated to elicit specific reactions? Are we engaging with reality, or with a polished construct designed to masquerade as reality? The possibility of deliberate misinformation must also be weighed. In an era where fabricated celebrity sightings, staged paparazzi photos, and planted gossip are routinely used as promotional tools, why should this scenario be immune to skepticism? If the footage and eyewitness accounts are authentic, they may still be part of a premeditated media strategy. If they are not authentic, the entire phenomenon may be a manufactured hoax, one that thrives precisely because of our collective reluctance to question what we want to believe. At this juncture, reflection is not merely advisable, it is imperative. Ask yourself, are we consuming journalism, or are we consuming entertainment disguised as journalism? Is our emotional engagement clouding our analytical judgment? Are we prepared to consider that this meeting may ultimately amount to nothing of significance, and that the true story lies in our willingness to treat speculation as fact? The digital age rewards speed over certainty. Stories like this, stories that blend the allure of celebrity with the intimacy of apparent secrecy, are uniquely primed to dominate the online cycle. They spread not because they are confirmed, but because they are compelling. Yet compulsion is not proof. As readers, viewers, and participants in this discourse, do we possess the discipline to pause, to question, and to withhold judgment until verifiable information emerges? Perhaps the most provocative question of all is this: if, in the coming days, it is revealed that the dinner never happened as described, or that Fallon's comment about Jungkook was a misinterpretation, will we feel deceived, or will we feel entertained? Will the satisfaction of the story's drama outweigh the disappointment of its potential falsehood? And if so, what does that reveal about the kind of media ecosystem we have collectively created? In closing, the narrative of Jimin, Jimmy Fallon, and the elusive mention of Jungkook is more than a celebrity anecdote. It is a mirror reflecting our own relationship with truth, desire, and doubt. Whether it proves to be factual or fabricated, its greatest significance may lie in how it exposes the mechanisms by which we, the public, choose to believe. The decision to accept or reject this story rests not on the strength of the available evidence, but on the rigor of our skepticism and the honesty of our self-examination. In this climate, where information is abundant but certainty is scarce, the question we must ask ourselves is both simple and unsettling. Do we want the truth, or do we want the thrill? The aftermath of the Jimin, Jimmy Fallon dinner discourse has revealed a deeper, more unsettling reality about the modern information environment. Narratives no longer need confirmation to become dominant. They require only repetition, emotional resonance, and the strategic absence of contradiction. This raises a critical challenge for all of us. Are we willing to dissect the mechanics of such narratives, or will we remain content to inhabit them as passive consumers of intrigue? It is vital to recognize that the origin of this particular narrative rests almost entirely on user-generated content from platforms such as TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube, spaces where content velocity often outpaces verification by a factor of hours, if not days. In these digital arenas, the currency is virality, not accuracy. The viral spread of the dinner clip was instantaneous, but the verification of its circumstances remains incomplete. Should we not question why so many are comfortable suspending the demand for corroboration simply because the subjects are high-profile figures? The human mind is predisposed to pattern recognition, and in this case, the dinner's timing, location, and the mention of Jungkook create a pattern that feels intentional. But feeling intentional and being intentional are fundamentally different states. Without corroborating documentation, independent eyewitness accounts free from bias, or confirmation from either involved party, the entire sequence remains in a state of speculative suspension. This liminal space, neither proven nor disproven, is fertile ground for sensationalism. We must also confront the ethical dimensions of amplifying such stories. By engaging with and sharing unverified content, audiences participate in a feedback loop that incentivizes media outlets and content creators to prioritize speed and sensational framing over substantiated fact. In doing so, we risk rewarding the very behaviors that blur the line between news and entertainment, between reporting and storytelling. Should responsible consumption of information not include a deliberate hesitation, a conscious pause before contributing to the momentum of an unverified claim? Furthermore, consider the commercial incentives that might underlie the creation or escalation of this narrative. The entertainment industry has long relied on controlled leaks, staged sightings, and cryptic public interactions to cultivate anticipation. Could this dinner, whether real or exaggerated, be functioning as a calculated prelude to a marketing rollout? And if so, are we complicit in executing the campaign by allowing ourselves to be drawn into the cycle of speculation and amplification? The psychological appeal of this story is undeniable. It offers a blend of exclusivity, a secret meeting, familiarity, beloved public figures, and mystery. The third guest, the unspoken agenda, the provocative question about Jungkook. Yet these same elements make it especially susceptible to distortion.